What's up, guys? Welcome back to Babe's Kitchen. All right, so today what we're gonna do, we're gonna make some fish. I know I did a previous video on how to bake salmon and cook it on the stovetop. Well, today we're gonna do a different type of fish. We're gonna use, you can use either snapper fish, whatever fish you prefer or that you like, snapper fish, butterfish, and this is the whole fish I'm talking about. Today I'm going to use in particular the parrotfish. That happens to be my favorite fish. One, because it's very meaty. Two, it doesn't have a lot of bone. And three, it's easy to clean and not a lot of scaling or anything on that fish at all. So very simple and easy to clean it up. So that's why I like that fish. But like I said, you do what you prefer, okay? And you can use the same ingredients, all right? So I'm going to get to seasoning up that fish. Okay, so first you're going to clean your fish. I already pre-cleaned it with some lemon juice, and you can also use vinegar or use both. And what I did was I cleaned it with the lemon juice. I poured the lemon juice on, and I mixed in some water in there, and I let it soak for about 5 minutes. You can let it soak for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then you want to make sure you rinse all that lemon juice off. It just kills the rawness of the fish. And these are the beautiful parrotfish that I'm using. Sometimes they're a little bit more colorful, just depends on, you know, where you buy them or how you get them. But yeah, we're gonna use our parrotfish today. And what I'm gonna do to the fish, I'm gonna fry it first, and I'm gonna stew it down after. So this is really stew fish. If you prefer just to leave it fried, that's fine. You can stop the video at that and just leave it as fried fish. All right, so these are the seasonings that I'm gonna use. Of course, my favorite fish seasoning that I always tell you about by Chief Fish Seasoning. And you can get it at your local Caribbean store. If you don't know one in your neighborhood, you can just Google it. They usually have one. And we're also gonna use some black pepper. So usually those are the only two things I use on my fish, because the fish seasoning has all the herbs in it. It has thyme, basil, everything in it. It's just like the best fish seasoning. I'll tell you something funny. One day I panicked. I went to my local fish store and they didn't have. I waited to the last minute and I went to get my Chief Fish Seasoning and I couldn't get it. I was so mad. But I did get a replacement by, just so you know, another fish seasoning that's good is McGill. MAGIL, I believe it's spelled McGill. And they come in little fish packets also. So you can always, it's always good to have a backup. Or you can use, some people use Obey seasoning for their fish, or seafood, any seafood seasoning, adobo. So you're not, you don't have to, you know, use my fish seasoning, but you can use whichever. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna season it up really quick. I have an open pack of fish seasoning that I've been using, so I'm gonna use that. And it's really fast and simple. Like I said, it has all the herbs in it, the thyme. You wanna make sure you season up inside of the fish. You open it up. I usually cut an opening in it, so inside of it gets the head of it. If you don't like the head of the fish, you can cut it off. It's totally up to you. All right, we got that. I'm gonna season the next piece. And you can also cut these in half. You know, everybody doesn't have to have a whole fish, especially the kids. They don't like to eat. They say, oh, that's too much food. So you can cut them in half, but I'm just gonna leave them whole today. All right, we got that nice and seasoned, rubbing it in on both sides. And normally what I do normally leave it seasoned overnight, but this is just spur of the moment. So sometimes you don't always get to leave it overnight because of spur of the moment stuff. You say, oh, I wanna make some fish, and you know, but it's gonna taste just as juicy, so don't worry. And we're gonna put our black pepper in there. Make sure you get it inside the head, all in the middle where it's cut open. And make sure you're rubbing it in. Do the next one. This is going to be delicious. I can't wait to eat this. All right. And all right, so like I told you, we're going to fry the fish. So that's the next thing we're going to do. That's real simple. You put some oil in the pot and cooking oil to fry it up. And after we do that, we're going to brown stew it. And these are the simple ingredients you need to brown stew it. You're going to need some ketchup. I use a little bit of olive oil, but if you don't have olive oil, you can use cooking oil. It's just as good. And I'm going to use some browning. This one is by Grace. Any browning is fine. And now this one, they have it in the markets too. Sometimes they don't. Depending, you can get this. This is pick-a pepper. It gives it a nice flavor. Pick-a pepper sauce. And this one is actually the gingery mango one in pick-a pepper. They have other flavors, but I like the gingery mango. You know, anything with ginger in it is always great to use. So we're going to use that. And remember, if you can't get this in particular, don't worry. You can still just use the browning and the ketchup. This just gives it an extra kick. And then we're going to cut up some, for that gravy, we're going to cut up some thyme, some garlic, some carrots, some scallion, or some people call it green onion, some regular onions, and it'll be fun. All right, so let's get to cutting up our vegetables. Okay, so here's our veggies. I pre-cut them already. I have my thyme, I have my garlic, which gives it a wonderful flavor. I have my carrots. If you don't like carrots, like I said, you can eliminate carrots. I have my green onions, or scallion. Some people call it scallion. And I like a little spice, so I use a Habanero pepper. I cut it in half, but you can eliminate that if you don't like spices. And I cut up some onions. All right, so let's get to frying. All right, our lovely fish is frying, looking delicious. You want to fry it about 7 minutes on each side. You can just use your judgment. You don't want to over fry the fish because it'll be too dried out. You still want it to be, you know, nice and juicy. All right, so when we're done frying, we're going to stew it down. Okay, our fish is nicely fried, looking beautiful, not over fried or anything. So now we're going to get our sauce ready, our brown stew sauce ready to put the fish in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave one of them fried because my kids, I'm going to split it between my two kids. They like theirs just fried and that's it. So you can enjoy it just like this. And then I'm just going to brown stew down one of them. So let's get to making that sauce. Okay, for our sauce here, we're just going to use a little bit of cooking butter. So I'm going to put the cooking butter in the pot there. And then I'm going to add some olive oil. And you could use cooking oil too if you don't have olive oil. That's perfectly fine. Okay. And then I'm going to add some ketchup. You just squirt a good amount of ketchup in there, depending on how much gravy you want to make. I like a lot of gravy, so I'll put a good amount. And then I'm going to put in my browning sauce. You just take your time with the browning. You don't got to put too much in it. You just want to get to get brown enough. And then I'm going to put in my pick a pepper sauce. And remember, if you don't have that, it's no big deal. If you can't get it, you can just do it without it. This just adds a little extra kick to it. And then I'm just going to add a little water to that. Not a lot, a little bit. Just enough for it to cook down into a gravy. And then I'm going to add some of my fish seasoning. You can use seasoned salt if you don't have fish seasoning. I like to use a fish seasoning because I am frying fish to give it that fish, you know, flavor also. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. And then I'm just going to kind of stir this together here. And as you see, it's turning a little brown. That's why it's called brown stew. And just remember, depending on, you know, how you want your gravy. If you want a lot of gravy, you just, if you want to spread it a little, you just add a little bit more water, but not too much. All right, and you're going to let that just cook a little bit. Color looking perfect. And now I'm going to add our vegetables. Like I showed you before, we're going to add our thyme, our garlic, our carrots, our green onion or scallion, a little bit of onion, and there's just a little bit of pepper for a little while to add a little spice. But you can eliminate that if you don't like. And I have the stove on a medium, so I'll keep it on medium for now while I add this stuff. Carrots in there. Green onion and peppers. Alright, I'm going to let that cook down a little bit and then we're going to add our fish to it, okay? Alright, so after our sauce here has cooked for a little bit, I let it cook for about 10 minutes to cook down the carrots a little bit, and now I'm just going to add the fish to it. And remember, I'm just doing one piece of fish because the kids like to use fish another way. I'm just going to get that. Okay, our fish is added to the pot, looking nice. And I'm going to put the stove on medium, or keep it on medium. And I'm just going to kind of pour some of that gravy on there so it can cook down in it. Looking so good. Stew fish is looking yummy. And this part doesn't even take long because remember the fish is pretty much cooked already. It was fried. So we're just going to stew it down real quick in this gravy. I would do it for maybe about 5-7 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to cover the pot, let it simmer down. Like I said, it's on a medium, and let it just simmer down there. Alright, and we'll be back with you with our stewed fish. Alright, there we go. Look at our brown stewed fish looking yummy and delicious. So we're just going to serve it on the plate. You can do this with a side of plantain, some rice, or white rice, rice and peas. Today I'm giving my husband some dumplings and a little bit of rice with it and some plantains. I'll show you how it looks. Alright, so look at our wonderful plate of our stewed fish. We got a little rice and peas, some boiled dumpling, and some sweet plantain to go with it. My husband's going to love this. Well, once again, I want to thank you for joining Babe's Kitchen. And please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time. Bye.